City Psychiatric Hospital No. 17, long abandoned and surrounded by rumors, stood on a hill hidden by thick fog. It was said that the most hopeless patients were once treated here, until one day it ended in a mass disappearance. The nursing staff disappeared, the patients vaporized, and the remaining people went insane. Since then, the building has been empty, and only rare diggers have dared to look inside. Michael, an investigative journalist, has long been on the hunt for strange stories, but this one particularly caught his eye. He assembled a team: Anna, a young psychiatrist; Dennis, an equipment technician; Kay, a video blogger who believes in the paranormal; and Arthur, a local digger who knows the secret pans. Their goal is to find evidence of anomalies and find out what happened that night 50 years ago. They stood in front of the massive iron gates of the hospital. The wind whistled through the empty windows, making it seem as if the building was watching them. "Are you sure you want to do this?" Arthur asked, pushing the rusty shutters open. They creaked and swung open. Inside, it smelled damp, dusty, and something sweet, unpleasant. Kate turned on the camera. "Welcome to the last corridor. Let's see who gets out of here last," she muttered with a nervous chuckle. They stepped inside, and the gate slammed shut behind them. The first floor seemed ordinary: old corridors, broken windows, graffiti on the walls. But as they got higher up, the space began to change. "Lint, you guys see that?" Dennis shined his flashlight down the hallway. Only one pair of their footprints remained on the floor. "Where are Arthur's footprints?" Kate turned pale. They turned around. Arthur was standing behind them, but his footprints were not on the dust. "Is this some kind of joke?" Kate asked, but no one answered. Suddenly a sound came from the nearest room, a muffled thud, as if someone had moved the furniture violently. Anna pushed the door open and it creaked open, revealing a small room with beds bolted to the floor. There was something lying on one of them. They stepped closer and Francie. Under the sheet was the fresh imprint of a human body. "Someone was here, just now," Michael muttered. The door behind them slammed, and the hallway light blinked on. Kate gasped. A six-figure reflected in the glass of the closet. A shadow. Panic was growing. They rushed down, but the stairs were longer than before. The corridors that led to the exit ended in blank walls. "This can't be happening." Dennis pounded his fist into the concrete. "Okay," Michael's voice was shaking. "Let's calm down. We'll find a way out." At that moment a voice rang out, a woman's thin, whispering voice. "It's too late for you." Anna gasped and recoiled. Kate dropped the camera. A face flashed on the screen at the last moment, an expression of empty eyes, a torn mouth. The figure smiled. The night dragged on. They stopped realizing how much time had passed. The clocks didn't work. The telephones showed strange symbols instead of numbers. The corridors looked different now. The walls shrank. The ceiling grew higher. "This house is changing," Kate said in a whisper. "We're trapped." They found the archive room. Pages of old journals were scribbled with the same sentence: "I'm here. I see you." Michael turned the page and Francie. The picture was of them. "It can't be." Anna ran her finger over the image. "It's us. But how?" "Who took the picture?" Arthur asked. A husky laugh sounded from behind them. They tried to run, but every turn brought them back. One by one they disappeared. Dennis went into the room and did not return. Kate saw herself in the mirror as an old woman and screamed. Disappearing. Arthur ran into the darkness, but his scream was cut short. Only Michael and Anna remained. They reached the last corridor, where there was a door with a sign on it. "We'll get out," Michael whispered, grabbing Anna's hand. We have to. But the door opened, and there they stood, their copies, pale, with black eyes. You are no longer needed, they said in unison. Michael managed to scream before he was sucked into the darkness. Anna fell to her knees. The last thing she saw was her own reflection disappearing into the mirror. A few years passed. The hospital building has been demolished, but in its place there is a dark mark on the ground. They say that at night, footsteps and whispers can be heard there. The locals avoid the place. Only once, in the archive of the city newspaper, they found an old cassette tape. There was a group of explorers on it. Someone whispered, "They're still there."